Hello everyone, welcome back to Campus Papers. In this video, we are solving IGCSE Chemistry, May-June 2024, Paper 4, Variant 2. This is Part 2, covering question 4 to 6. The link to Part 1, which covers question 1 to 3, is in the description of this video. Let's continue. Question 4. A carboxylic acid reacts with an alcohol to produce an ester and water. Under certain conditions, this reaction can be reversed, so an ester reacts with water to produce a carboxylic acid X and an alcohol Y. The reaction reaches an equilibrium. This is reaction. The forward reaction is endothermic. Deduce the empirical formula of the ester. So this is the ester. For us to get the empirical formula, we need to get the molecular formula. So the molecular formula is going to be carbon. How many carbon do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4. And then hydrogen. How many hydrogen do we have? 3 plus 2, 5 plus 3, 8. And then oxygen, we have 2 oxygen, 1, 2. Now this is the molecular formula. To get the empirical formula, we divide through with the smallest number, which is 2. So this is going to be 4 divided by 2, which is 2. C2. 8 divided by 2 is 4, H4. And then 2 divided by 2 is 1, O. So therefore, the empirical formula of the ester is C2H4O. Name the ester. And for you to name the ester, remember the rule. When you're naming an ester, you name the alcohol first, then the acid. So here, this is the alcohol, and that is, since it is 1 carbon, that means it is a methyl. So we write down methyl first, and then this is the acid. How many carbons? 1, 2, 3. So that means it's a propanoic acid, and that propanoic acid will change to propanoate. So therefore, the name of the ester is methylpropanoate. Don't forget alcohol first, and then the acid when you are naming. But we are writing the formula. The acid comes first, and then the alcohol. Name carboxylic acid X and draw its display formula. From the name of the ester, we already know that the carboxylic acid is going to be propanoic acid. And the display formula is going to be, we have propanoic, that means 3 carbon. So 1, 2, and 3. And of course, the last carbon, we have the functional group, which is, and then the remaining carbon, we have hydrogen to balance the 4 bonds they can form. So this carbon already formed 2 bonds, so you need 2 more. So you're going to get 2 hydrogen. And this one has only 1 bond, so you need 3 more bonds to form bonds with 3 hydrogens. Next question, name alcohol Y and give a structural formula. So the same thing from the name methyl, that means the alcohol is methanol. And the structural formula is going to be, remember here we asked for the structural formula, not display formula. So it's going to be CH3OH. You cannot write the structural formula directly. You can write the display formula. From the display formula, you can get the structural formula. Okay, so it's methanol, that means it's going to have 1 carbon only. And it is alcohol, so that means there's OH. And then of course a carbon must have 4 bonds, so we're going to have 3 hydrogen, make it complete. So therefore you can see that the display formula is going to give us CH3, and then OH. So from the display formula you can get the structural formula, but it's also easier to write the structural formula. You just replace 1 hydrogen with the OH or any of the functional group. But then for this question, our structural formula is CH3OH. E. Complete table 4.1 to show the effect, if any, for each change of the condition. Change of condition. Effect on the concentration of carboxylic acid X at equilibrium. Temperature is decreased. Now for us to answer this question, we need to go back to the equation of the reaction. Remember that the equation says the forward reaction is endo, so this is endo, and then this is exo. So if we decrease the temperature, it's going to move to the exothermic side. If we increase the temperature, it's going to move to the endothermic side. So that means decreasing temperature will favor the reverse reaction and not the forward reaction, because the forward reaction is endothermic and then the reverse reaction is exo. So therefore, when temperature is decreased, the concentration of carboxylic acid X at the equilibrium will also decrease. Why? Because the forward reaction is endothermic and then the reverse reaction is exo. And decrease in temperature will shift the equilibrium to the exo side. So therefore, concentration of carboxylic acid is going to be decreased. Then concentration of methylpropanoid is decreased. Now when the concentration of the reactant is decreased, the concentration of the product is also going to decrease. So therefore, here also, when the concentration of methylpropanoid is decreased, the concentration of carboxylic acid X at equilibrium is going to also decrease. Next, more alcohol Y is added. If more Y is added, then X is going to decrease. Okay, So therefore, here also, when more alcohol Y is added, the concentration of carboxylic acid X at equilibrium is going to decrease because the Y will decrease the concentration of the X. And finally, a catalyst is added. When catalyst is added, there will be no effect because catalysts do not change the position of equilibrium. They cannot increase or decrease the concentration of carboxylic acid X at equilibrium. Question F. At the beginning of the reaction between the ester and water, no carboxylic acid is present in the reaction mixture. Suggest how the pH of the reaction mixture changes from the start of the reaction until equilibrium is reached. Assume alcohol and esters are neutral. So we have to assume the alcohol and esters are neutral. So what will be the pH at the start of the reaction? So since they are neutral, the pH is going to be 7. Then what is going to be the pH at equilibrium? So since carboxylic acid is being added, so that means we're going to have a pH less than 7. It's going to be a pH between 3 and 7. So this is a weak acid. Carboxylic acid is a weak acid. So the pH is going to be weak acid between 3 and 7. Identify the ion that causes the change in pH. Hydrogen ion is the ion that usually causes the change in pH because the more hydrogen ion an acid have, the more acidic it is. Next question. Name an indicator which can be used to follow the change in pH. Universal indicator will be the best indicator that we use to follow the pH change because it's a change over a range. Okay. You cannot use other indicators like methyl orange, phenolphthalein, thermophthalein because those indicators they only tell us if it is acidic or neutral or alkaline. But it not tell us if it is weak, strong, acid, or alkaline. Next question, question 5. Sulfur is a group 6 element. A sample of sulfur contains two isotopes. We have sulfur 32 and sulfur 34. Complete table 5.1 to show the number of protons and neutrons in an atom of each isotope of sulfur. So this is sulfur 32. So the number of protons, since they are isotopes, the number of protons is going to be the same. So we simply check the periodic table, locate sulfur, and then we check the atomic number, which is 16. Atomic number is equal to number of protons. So the number of protons for the both sulfur is 16. This is because they are isotope of the same element, so they will have the same number of protons. Next is neutron. The number of neutron is going to be the mass number minus the number of protons. Why? Because the mass number, which is 32 and 34, is the sum of the protons and neutrons in the nucleus of the atom. So if the proton is 16, that means the neutron is going to be 32 minus 16, which is 16. And then for this one, 34 minus 16 is going to give us 18. Next question, state why these isotopes have identical chemical properties. The reason is because they have the same electronic configuration. Next question, state the mass of 6.02 times 10 raised to power 23 atoms of sulfur 34. Include unit in your answer. So the mass is going to be 34 grams. How do I know that? This is Avogadro's constant. It means that 1 mole of sulfur contains 6.02 times 10 raised to power 23 atoms. So that means the mass is 34 grams, which is the relative atomic mass of sulfur. Next question. State the name of the amount of substance which contains 6.02 times 10 raised to power 23 atoms. Like I already stated, it is 1 mole. Next question. Table 5.2 shows the relative abundance of these isotopes of sulfur in the sample. Calculate the relative atomic mass of sulfur in this sample to 1 decimal place. To calculate the relative atomic mass of sulfur, use the formula the mass multiplied by the percentage abundance plus the mass of the second isotope multiplied by the percentage abundance. So this will be equal to 32 multiplied by 95 plus 34 multiplied by 5 divided by 100. Punch your calculator is going to give us 32.1. Next question, B. Sulfur react with magnesium to form magnesium sulfide, an ionic compound. Complete the dot and cross diagram in figure 5.1 of the ions in magnesium sulfide. Give the charges on the ions. So please don't forget, you are asked to complete the dot and cross diagram. Don't just write the charges, you have to complete the dot and cross diagram. And in order to do that, you write the electronic structure of magnesium and sulfur. Check the atomic number of magnesium is 12 and sulfur is 16. So therefore, the electronic structure is going to be 2A2 for magnesium and then 2H6 for sulfur. So which means that magnesium, which is a metal, is going to donate 2 electrons to sulfur, which is a non-metal, so that sulfur will have a complete shell and the magnesium will also have complete shell. So for magnesium, we already have the first shell, which is 2. So we're going to draw the second shell, which contains 8 electrons. So that is all for magnesium. Remember, it's giving out 2 electrons. So that means it's going to be positively charged. When metals give electron, they become positively charged because there will be more proton than electron. So therefore, it's going to be 2 plus. And sulfur will receive these 2 electrons, and this will change to 8. And here we have the first one, 2, and then we have the second one, 8. So we are drawing the last one, 8 also. But remember, it was originally 6, so we draw the 6 first. Then it received 2 electrons from magnesium. So since magnesium is cross, we are going to indicate the 2 electrons received by sulfur be written in cross. Okay, so it received 2 electrons, so it's going to have 2 minus as its charge, because the charge of electron is negative and receives 2 of it. This therefore is the complete dot and cross diagram for magnesium sulfide. Next question, state why magnesium sulfide has a high melting point. The answer is simply because of ionic bond. The ionic bonds are strong. You can say the electrostatic force between ionic bonds are very strong, so high temperature is needed to melt them. Next question, state why molten magnesium conduct electricity. The reason why molten magnesium sulfide conduct electricity is because it has a free, or you can say mobile, ions. And they are molten, the ions are free to move, so therefore they'll be able to conduct electricity. Question C, an acid containing sulfur reacts with the sodium hydroxide to form a salt and water. The salt has the formula Na2SO3. Deduce the formula of this acid. So from this formula, it is sodium sulfate. Therefore, the formula for the acid is going to be, please do not rush and write H2SO4. It's not H2SO4, it's SO3 from here. Okay. Deduce the formula of the anion in sodium sulfate. So this anion is going to be SO3 2 minus. Next question. Sodium sulfate is oxidized by acidified aqueous potassium manganese 7. State what 7 refers to in the name potassium manganese 7. So the 7 simply means the oxidation number of manganese. Next, state the color change when this reaction happens. So the answer is from purple to colorless. Potassium manganese 7 is purple in color. So when oxidation happens, change to colorless. Question 6. Glucose is involved in 2 processes. Glucose, which is C6H12O6, is made in plant from carbon dioxide and water. Name this process. The process is photosynthesis. Write the symbol equation for this process. So this is the symbol equation for photosynthesis. I expected to know this. Next question, state 2 essential conditions needed for this process to happen. So we need energy from light and then chlorophyll. Question B, glucose is converted to ethanol. Name this process. The process is fermentation. Name the other product formed when glucose is converted to ethanol. The other product formed is carbon dioxide. Next question. Ethanol is made by reacting ethene with steam in an industrial process. State the conditions and type of catalyst used in this industrial production of ethanol. So the temperature is 300 degrees Celsius, pressure 60 atmosphere, and the type of catalyst used is acid catalyst. So these are the conditions for the industrial process by which ethanol is produced through reacting ethene with steam. Explain why this reaction is an addition reaction. The answer is because only one product is formed. If it were substitution, 2 products will be formed. That is, the atom that is substituted will form a second product. But since addition is just being added, a new 1 product is formed. So therefore, it is addition reaction. Complete the dot and cross diagram in figure 6.1 of a molecule of ethanol. So this is a molecule of ethanol. So we have to complete the dot and cross diagram. In this type of diagram, I would advise students to start with the smallest atom, which is hydrogen. We already know that hydrogen has only 1 shell with 1 electron. So it is forming a covalent bond with another atom, going to share 1 electron. Because the number of electrons an atom needs to complete the shell is number of electrons that is going to share. So therefore, let's do for all the hydrogen. We're going to have a cross from the hydrogen and a dot from carbon. Okay. Next is here. Remember that the maximum number of electrons it can accommodate in the second shell is 8. So for this carbon, it already has 6. So that means here is going to be 2 more. And since it's 2 more, that means 1 from the carbon and then 1 from this carbon. Another way to confirm you're correct is to write the electronic structure of carbon. Check your periodic table. Carbon is number 6. So therefore, it's going to be 2, 4. Look at it. The first shell is 2. And then the outer shell is 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So it is complete. 2, 8. Next, we move to this carbon. So that's bonded with 1, 2, 3. Remaining 1 more also. make it 4, and then 1 will come from this oxygen, making it 8, so it's also complete. Then oxygen, what is the atomic number of oxygen? 8. So the electronic configuration is going to be 2, 6. Okay, so we have 2, which is this one, and then we have 6 in the outer shell. We have 1 and 2, remaining 4 more. Now you confirm that all atoms are stable. Carbon here is having 2, 8 stable. This carbon 2, 8 stable. This oxygen 2, 8 stable. And then of course our hydrogen having 2, 2, 2, 2 each stable. So therefore this is the complete dot and Gauss diagram for the molecule of ethanol. So that's the full breakdown of the IGCSE Chemistry Paper 4 Variant 2, May June 2024. If this helped you, like the video, subscribe to Chem Past Papers, and check this channel for more past paper solutions. I'll see you in the next video.